Hello everyone and welcome back to Aviation. Today I'm going to do an inbox review of this lovely X-15A-2 Ablative Coating from Special Hobby 1:32 scale, product number SH32081. Before I start, I actually want to say a couple of things about this lovely aircraft. If not, you can actually skip forward. So this aircraft first flight was done on the 8th of June 1959, and the last was done a decade later in December 1968. There were only 3 aircrafts built, and there were 12 pilots that flew a combined flight 199 flights, last ending in disaster. But that wasn't the reason why they stopped flying it. 8 of these pilots flew above the 50 miles limit, thereby qualifying as astronauts. Yes, Neil Armstrong was one of them. The aircraft top speed, especially this A2 version, was 6.7 Mach, which translates around 7,274 kilometers per hour, or 4,520 miles per hour. The engine was a XLR99. Okay, so how did we end up having an A2? So the A2 actually was the second X-15 that was rebuilt after an accident on the 9th of November 1962, which damaged the aircraft and injured the pilot, that later had health problems. So it did receive these auxiliary fuel tanks, and the entire fuselage was stretching by 2.5 feet. This particular aircraft, the F-15A-2, done about 53 flights. So about this white ablative coating, the ablative coating was a heat shield, and it functioned by lifting the hot shock layer gas away from heat shield's outer wall, thus creating a cooler boundary layer. The boundary layer comes from blowing off gaseous reaction products from the heat shield material and provides protection against all form of heat flux. This aircraft, the first flights of this aircraft, flying 5-6 Mach, they looked like they were having someone blew a torch underneath. Okay, let's start with opening the kit. To be honest, I'm a little bit I was a little bit concerned at first, because to be honest, it's not a very big box especially for 1:32 scale, but it was because if you take it in comparison with my 1:48 scale F-35A from Meng, it's pretty much the same thing. That's why I say, but it wasn't a really big aircraft. Okay, let's open it. So this is a top opener. So the model is made in Czech Republic. It is, if I remember correctly, the 3rd generation of the X-15. It was released by Special Hobby in 2020, so during the pandemic. It was first released in 2007, improved again in 2008, and again in this one in 2020. So what do we have inside? Oh, this is a nice addition to the... So here we have a stand, lovely, so you can actually make the aircraft in its natural habitat, which would be, well, flying. So we have a okay, let's see, looks like we have lots and lots of parts made of resin, but let's start with the instruction. The instruction seems to come in an A4, quite a thick one. Here we have the front part of the fuselage, top and bottom, the aft, again top and bottom. They're nice in colour. We have 40-inch parts, we have one film, we have some wire, and a lot of resin parts. Usually the resin parts are done just to rather than doing an entire mold. It's easier and cheaper, and sometimes you get better results. So everything starts with the cockpit, pretty much with everything on all other aircraft. Here we have the ejection seat. What it seems that there are a little bit too many information regarding and how you put it, how you assemble it. Oh, definitely there might be a little bit tricky on the fuel tanks, external fuel tanks. Same thing is on the left. Here we have a ground dolly. And that's about it. So regarding the markings, oh, that's done. So here we have the spurs, which come in grey in colour, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 spurs plus the stand. So we have 8 spurs in total. We have one decal, one film, decal sheet, one film, and one for the edge for the cockpit, and some seat belts. They look okay. What I can see that most of these decals pretty much are just instructions. They are stencil, no markings from what I see, but this was an experimental aircraft. Okay, so let's start with the fuselage, and there should be a transparent one. Yes, so there's a transparent. We're gonna get that there quite soon, because you're gonna have the window for the pilot. Very nice details when it comes to wheels. Probably I'm gonna put this one on a stand and make it flying. What I'm trying to show you here is that although it does have rivets, yeah, you can see them nice and clear, it's actually the correct size for a 1 in 32 scale. Usually a rivet in 1/32 scale would be, I mean, you barely see the rivets on a real aircraft that is painted. You shouldn't be seeing them in 1/32 scale. Again, nice panel lines. They do seem to be, the panels seem to be where they should be, but until you don't take out the plans, you won't be able to cross check them. Here we have the aft fuselage. So again, very nice details. Here's where the rudder is. Looks a little bit bulky. Here we might have some defect from the mold, some sort of a flash. Probably gonna have to clean that. I don't know exactly how the rudder is glued to the model. The exhaust of the jet engine, again, really nice details. The wings split in half on the middle, top and bottom. Same thing for the horizontal stabilizers. Not too many details on it. The only detail is on is just this panel here. Top and bottom, to be honest, I don't know which one is which. One thing I noticed, you won't have any numbers on the spurs itself. It's just spur number C, so you'll have to go back and forth with these when you assemble it. So you'll have to have your instruction to see exactly which part is which. At least when it comes to wings, it says C8 and C7. Which is C8, C7? Okay, so you have to so is this like this or like that? I have no clue. Well, that's a minus for this kit. At the end of the this video, I'm gonna try to make a conclusion sheet. What are the bad bits? What are the good bits? Here's a little bit of flash. This is the rudder. Nice details. Very nice details, to be honest. Okay, same problem. Here we have the ejection seat. Somehow it was a wow factor on the other parts, but on these ones pretty much no details, unfortunately. Here we have the transparent spur, which is the 9th one, and wow, a ton of resin parts. So this is the transparent one, which is the canopy. So apparently this one comes on top. It's really nicely done. Everything comes painted in white, so oops. Yeah, it seems to be alright. Maybe we will have to, yeah, it might be a little bit of work sanding and making the parts fit properly. These are the external fuel tanks, large halves split on vertically. Definitely this kit is not a doesn't look to be a kit for beginners, just by the amount of resin parts. I mean, I did work with resin before, but never, to be honest, on this scale. Rudder, they seem to be like rudder controls. I think mainly in here we have the oh no, I thought that those are the rudder controls. No. Wow, there are a lot of resin parts. Here we have the exhaust, which the resin parts tend to reproduce quite nicely. One second, I'll try to turn on the light so we can see inside. Really nice texture inside. I wonder why they're trying to reproduce parts that they already have, like in wheels and rudder parts. Here we have the wheels. The drums are really nice. Actually, these are the front wheels, because this aircraft only had the front wheel and skids on the back. I wish they would have simulated at least some white. I wonder what this part is. Yeah, there are the bits and bobs again. Lots and lots of resin parts. Some seem that they're already broken off, which that's not very helpful. Well, that's about it. I'm gonna make a conclusion sheet, and that's about it. If you like, please like and subscribe, and see you next time.